my gosh, why do I do this to myself each and every time? I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Self-sabotaging myself every time when I see a little bit of progress. What do? I go and ruin all that hard work that I've been putting on, and just, yeah, everything just gets unraveled and down the hill it goes. So what am I talking about? So I was making such a good progress with my weight loss, and I was so excited. I had finished off doing that stepper challenge that I was doing, and during that whole time I was so focused both on the exercising and on the diet. So I was doing really well. But as soon as that challenge was done, I found myself just falling into bad habits. I just fell into all the bad habits again, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Even when I knew what I was doing, but I don't know, somehow I couldn't just stop myself from just unraveling and just going downhill, doing all those bad habits again. I just found myself just keep on going and couldn't just stop myself. It's only after a while I was like, okay, you know what? This is becoming ridiculous. I need to get back to the swing of things, because what am I doing? And that's what I had to ask myself. What am I doing? Why am I letting myself just unravel like that? And like, I've worked so hard, and all that hard work is just going down the drain because you can just stop eating. Like, seriously? Yeah. So I had to have that little chat with myself and tell myself to just snap out of it and stop being self-sabotaging myself. I had to just stop self-sabotaging myself. In a way, it kind of scared me, right? Because I'm on this journey of weight loss, right? But if I was to achieve my goal, am I gonna do the same thing? Am I just gonna go back to my old habits? So I really have to work on that to figure out, okay, after achieving your goals, what do you do? How do you prevent yourself from going back to your old habits, right? Because I slowly saw myself going back into my old eating habits and all this stuff, not paying attention and just eating whatever, right? So that kind of scares me, right? Like, okay, I don't need to figure out some things here, because I don't want that to happen once I reach my goal, right? Whatever that goal is, or whenever that is, at this rate, if I keep sabotaging myself. But at the same time, how am I gonna stop that, right? So that got me really thinking, and I really need to do some more research to see how people able to keep their weight loss after they achieve that, right? Because I know for sure I'm not the only one who has never thought about that. Like, what happens? How do you stay in the same way? How do you prevent putting on that weight? Because I know for sure all those people who have lost weight and gained weight, I bet you most of them, they were not prepared for what happens after you achieve your goals, right? How are you going to maintain all that progress that you have made, and how are you going to keep on, living that healthy lifestyle, right? Without everything just going down the hill, or putting all the weight back on again, right? So that really got me thinking, and I really have to look into that, because seriously, this past few days or week hasn't been that good at all. So all my hard work, as I said, it just went downhill, because I just went back to my old habits, and I was just giving in and really not really putting any effort. And yeah, so that kind of scared me, and I had to stop myself. So now, since realizing this, and since deciding to go back on track, I have decided, because I found like I was doing well because I had something that I was focused on, right? So for October, I've decided to go back again and doing another challenge, this time for 30 days, doing the mini stepper, because I really found progress and success with that, right? I actually saw some results with being focused on a challenge. So that's why I was like, okay, let me do double that, right? Let me do for the whole 30 days focusing and doing that mini stepper challenge. Hopefully that will help me again stay on track, and I've already started on that. I've already done a few days of the mini stepper, and although I was doing it during the time when I was still derailing with my diet, I still stayed focused when it comes to the challenge, right? I was still doing the stepper every single day. It's just that I wasn't, the diet part is the one which I was like failing. I wasn't doing well at all when it came to the diet part, because I was just like, yeah, eating whatever, right? So that really made me thinking. I'm like, okay, I really need to make some changes. I need to get back to the swing of things, right? So definitely have to look into that, right? So now I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'm going back to my diet again, making sure that I go back to the low carb. As I mentioned before, I find it really easier for me to do the low carb than any other, because when I was going through that whole like derail and sabotaging myself, I kind of thought about it. I'm like, should I change maybe my diet, maybe do like the calorie deficit thing and do that way I don't feel so deprived. I can just reduce the calories and still eat whatever I want. All the carbs that I was missing, that was just eating a lot also, baby. But I said I've tried it before, so I had to be honest with myself and say I've tried it before, and when I tried it I just went even worse, right? So I was like, okay, that's not a goal. Let's focus. Let's go back to the low carb, because we know it works if we focus, all right? So I'm going back to that. I'm gonna stick to that. And then I also mentioned to myself that I need to continue on with the challenge, so I've been doing that, so which is great. I love that mini step. I love it. So, but my knees have been killing me. But I'm just pushing through it. I'm just doing it because I know I have to do this challenge. So I'm just pushing through the pain. After this step, I'm like, okay, let me nest my knees. Let me rub them. But I'm not giving up. I'm still gonna do that, right? So it just gives me something to focus on and getting to exercise every day, right? So I'm still working more like on lunch breaks and all that stuff, so I'm still doing that, so which has been great. It's just the diet part. That's the part which I was facing challenges with, right? So at first I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. After doing all this hard work, what do? I go and sabotage everything, right? I was like, oh gosh, am I gonna do another video talking about how I'm self-sabotage myself? But when I say that I'm gonna be sharing my journey, right? This is the journey, this is the struggles, the ups and downs that we face when you're going through this whole journey, right? So it's clearly not been an easy journey for me. It's been lots of challenges I've been facing, lots of ups and downs and all the stuff, right? So when I did the challenge, I lost a bit of weight, but I put back on about 5 pounds. So now I'm back to 187. I had gone down to 182. But when I weighed in today, I was like not 180. Oh, Jesus Christ, I wish. So when I was doing the challenge and lost weight, I was now 282, but I've put on 5 pounds from this whole crazy self-sabotaging myself. So now I'm 287. So that's where I was starting off with this month at 287. So I'm refocusing, resetting again for this month, and do this whole challenge for another 30 days, and I know I can do it. I need to just stop self-sabotaging myself. So what are your goals for the month of October? What are your goals for this coming up week? What are you going to be doing? How's your journey going? What are your successes or challenges that you've been facing? Please share before. We want to support you through this whole journey, right? Because as I said, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. I know sometimes we get lost into this YouTube where you see people losing weight so fast, and it's like, man, how come it's so easy for them? But we try not to compare our journeys, right? Because everyone is different. We're all on our different journeys. You just have to take one day at a time. As long as we don't give up, we continue going. Any progress, even as long as you're not giving up, that's progress. That's what I'm going on with this for this week. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna forgive myself. I'm still gonna go on. I'm not gonna give up. So it's still progress. So let's just continue on with that progress, right? So no giving up. Continue on making progress and taking one day at a time and going on. So that's what I've been working on, and I'll continue working on that and doing that, right? So we can do this. We can do it. So yeah, let's share your progress. So yeah, I'm not giving up on this journey. I'm gonna continue on. I know one day I'll reach it. I'll reach my goal. I'll keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. As long as I'm not giving up, I know I'll get to where I want to get. Giving up is not an option at this moment. So we'll continue on going on. All right then, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.